This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, so here's the thing. I'm going to be ranting in this episode, so if you don't like my ranting episodes, then click off or listen to whatever else you want to listen to. But I felt that, I need to say, first things first. Maybe this is my fault. Maybe it's the business fault. But the thing is this, I don't want to really blame myself on this matter, because my thing is this: if my messages wouldn't have went unanswered, I wouldn't have had to waste the trip to going out to this business to see if they are about business. And I know people are going to be wondering, well, TMossBoss, what is this business that you speak of? I don't want to put their business on blast because I'm not that type of person, all right? But so anyways, all right, I will tell you the major details, of all the stuff that pretty much went down. And and it just led to me almost probably, I'm telling you, if I was one of those like angry people, I just get out in public and start cussing, hitting stuff, going crazy. I felt that. I literally felt that, because no, man, my thing is this. All right, so let me just, so it's a rant / story time. All right, so anyways. So there's this store that I frequently go to, right? And I like this store. I like the people that work in there. It's a store where I'm like, you know what? Y'all are good people, all right? You always gonna have love in my heart for you guys, right? Because I'm like, nah, you came through some days, all right? So anyways, I messaged this business because I was wondering if they had a product that more so wanting to kind of work a deal with a said product that was at this store, right? So anyways, I messaged them on Sunday, no response. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's on some stuff where it's it's the weekend, they just trying to chill and all that. But I'm like, they're open on Sunday, because I vividly remember going to their business at a point in time, maybe a few years back. I remember going to their business on a Sunday. So I'm like, fam, I remember it because the Seahawks game was on. They were watching it. I was watching it. But I was like, no, I need to, go about business with this place, right? So anyways, I go and I messaged them on Sunday, no response. All right, cool, whatever. Messaged them yesterday, still no response. So my thing is this: if I'm not getting a response, I'm going to this business. And this business is a little far out. It's not like it's right down the street. If it was right down the street, I wouldn't even been sweating it. I'm like, all right, well, it's whatever, go back home. I'm chilling, But the thing is this: I got to travel out my way. It's an unnecessary amount of traveling, but it's my thing is this: if I'm traveling in this direction, I gotta come home with something. That's the thing that I don't like doing, is going somewhere and then coming back and not having nothing. So that's why I'm like, nah, bro, it's gonna probably be a while before I do business with them, because I'm like, nah, you guys, if y'all would have just responded to my messages, none of this wouldn't even have happened in the first place, all right? So anyways, I go all the way out to this said business. I'm kind of, waiting, looking around, because they wasn't, when I had got there, that was the thing. I was like, bro, I was preying on this business. I was preying on it. I was honestly on some Black Panther stuff. I was contacting my ancestors, bro. I was like, bury me in the dirt so we can have a conversation about this. But my thing is this. I really wanted to get this product because this was a product that I had before, and I'm like, I gotta have it. Okay, I gotta have it again, you know? So anyways, I go and I go up, so I'm going in there, and they was like, had some sign on the door saying back in 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know, gives me time to wait. Sat there and waited, scrolled through social media. I think I played some mobile games and all that stuff. So eventually some people come, you know, they're coming there, they're to work and things. Open the doors up. I go to the, you know, to inside. I see that they have the product that I wanted, and I'm like, bro, this is it. This is all that I need to do. So my thing is this, right? I really don't even want to get into details on what, because I feel that people will even pick up on, like, you know, what this place is and things. And I don't even really want to even put, like, what products they sell and stuff. But let's just say there was a deal that I wanted to cut with this said product, right? I feel that some people may pick up on it. It's like, you know, if you ain't really thinking too much into it, and or if you are thinking too much into it, then yeah, you might already know what I'm talking about. But if not, then yeah, you know, just continue not thinking about this business. But overall, I wanted to cut a deal with this business. The next thing that was told to me, it was something where I was like, you know, if I'm a business person myself and somebody comes to me about business and I tell them some old silly stuff talking about, oh, well, we're switching floors, so therefore we can't do the business. How? No. You are not telling me. All right, because my thing is this. That's like, and you know, sorry to use this as an example, but this was one of the examples that came through my mind, right? Let's say, you know, somebody in this world, which they are, you know, there's somebody. I don't know who, and I ain't gonna call them out, but anyways, somebody is a drug dealer, all right? This is the example. Imagine being a person, you go out and you want to go buy some, like, yeah, let's say it's like 2005, weed is illegal. You go to this person talking about, oh, can I go and buy some weed from you? And they hit you back with a response talking about, oh, well, I'm moving into different apartments, so therefore we can't do business. What does that even mean? You're turning down business because you're moving? And what was upsetting was, like, if I were to go about it in a different direction, talking on this business, if I were to go about the deal in a different direction, it would have been perfectly fine. But because I wanted to go in my direction, then it was an issue. Then it was on some stuff where it's all like, oh no, sorry, we're switching floors. And I'm like, the guy, you know, I don't want to, like, put all the blame on him. I really don't know who to blame in a situation like that. But when I tell you that I was mad, bro, I was heated. I honestly, I walked up out of there. I was cussing to myself. I went into GameStops. I was going to buy me a video game because I'm like, okay, I want to go back home with something. Video game, something. I didn't even buy a video game, bro. I was like, that's how mad I was. I was like, I don't want to buy a video game. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to go back home at this point. I'm like, because that's upsetting where you go to this place, you know, and you leave with the same thing you went in there with. Nah, man, I'm like, that's on some stuff where I'm like, you know, and what was funny was that, so when I walked up out of the GameStops, and I unfollowed them from social media. I unfollowed them because I was all like, nah, man, that's silly. That don't make no sense to me, where it's like, you guys, I ain't never had no issue like this before. I never even heard of no stuff like that before, where it's because you guys are moving. Then if that's the case, close down the store. I'm like, that's on some stuff where it's like, I want to go back up there again when that guy is not in there. But that's the thing, though. I don't want to do that if everybody is going to be saying the same thing. Because I'm like, I don't know whether it was the guy he just came up with that. Because I'm telling you, there's at times where I'm like, maybe that's just my paranoia and stuff. But I feel like there's at times where people, they be holding off on some stuff because of whatever they're thinking of in their head. And I'm like, I don't want to say that's the reason. But I want to just, you know, honestly believe that, okay, yeah, they're moving. So my thing is this. What would have been the difference? Because it wasn't really a major difference between what they wanted to do and what I wanted to do. So that's why I was like, that confuses me because I don't get that. I don't get like the price. Like that's something where it's like you're gonna have to explain it to me why we can't, do the business that I want to do and stuff. So but I was like, nah man, I unfollowed them. I ended up following them back on social media because I was like, I'm trying to be a much more better and mature person. But I had to talk on this. I had to talk on my frustration. And the thing is this, I know people are probably like, well, what if they hear this podcast episode, TMossBoss? Good. I want them to hear this podcast episode. I might even share it on the Instagram so they know exactly what and who I am talking about. Because nah, man, the thing is this. If somebody comes to me, right? If they come to me and they're like, hey, TMossBoss, I want to, trade in or give you this PlayStation 5 it's not GameStop's, by the way. I know people because I'm just using like video games as a console or as an example. But anyways, but no, if somebody comes to me and they're like, TMossBoss, I want to give you this trade in or like let's do a trade. You give me your Xbox and I give you this PlayStation 5. And I'm telling them, oh, well, the PlayStation is used and I'm moving. Like that literally was the the PlayStation. Did I say new or used? I meant if I said new, I meant to say used. If I said used, I don't even know why I'm even going through this. But no, I looked them dead in their face and I'm all like, the PlayStation is used and I'm moving. So therefore, we can't do business right now. I'm turning down, and the thing is this: if that's what my business is taking in products, what? I'm actively getting upset right now, even going through and talking about this. But it's like, no, like I said, it's going to probably be a while before I do business with them again. Because that type of stuff just don't make sense to me, And it's like, and I'm still sitting here waiting for a message, waiting for something, and I ain't got nothing. So that's why I'm like, and that's the thing where it's like, if they would have just messaged me in the first place, telling me what, the situation was, I wouldn't even been doing this podcast episode. I wouldn't even been talking on this. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll stay up to date on, your guys' moving process and stuff. And what was upsetting was like, when I had went in there, I looked around, they didn't look like they were in the process of moving. So that's why when they say things like that, I'm like, what's really going on? That's what I would like to know. What's really going on? Because I'm like, when they're moving, you see boxes and stuff all over the place. You see like parts of the their items missing. I ain't seen none of that. None of that. So that's why I'm like, nah, bro, I don't know what y'all got going on, but I'm like, that is bad business. That is extreme. And what was funny was that there was a video where it kind of like not mimicked, but it kind of like, it was overall about like, not about that business, but it was about like the items that was being sold at that business. And it was, some famous people involved in it. I don't even want to say like what that video was, but I feel like there's a lot of things that you guys don't know. And it probably would have been easier if I had just said, what was like, this business is, but I'm like, I'm trying to be a better and more mature person, so I don't want to put businesses on blast and things, because, yeah, it's just, it ain't needed, I don't want to ruin their business because of my experience with them and stuff, but I just know that if they ask me, like, oh, should I go and do some business with them, I'm going to tell them my last experience with them. And I'm gonna say no. They're not doing that form of business right now because they're moving. And I'm like, I'm going to be upset, if I go in there sometime later, still with the same business and things. Or even if it was like the item that I wanted and it ain't in there, but it's like, oh, now they want to respond to my messages. Now they want to. And I'm like, fam, you should have been trying to do this business when I came in there in the first place. I'm not hearing no stuff where it's all like, oh, you guys are moving and all this other stuff. My thing is this. If you guys are about business, all other stuff aside, that gotta go. That just, all that stuff gotta get pushed to the side. Because I'm saying, if somebody comes to me about business, I'm not gonna be all like, oh, I'm using the restroom right now, so therefore I can't tell you when the business is gonna happen. fam, the thing is this. Yeah, I'm gonna use that, to do whatever I need to do in that restroom, but I'm being about business that same day. I guess that wasn't a pretty good example, but I'm like, overall, I think people, know what I'm saying. It's like, if somebody comes to me about business, I'm gonna do business with them. Especially when I have supported this business and have shouted out this business. So it really confuses. My thing is this. I don't want to like hold that over their head, but at the same time, it's like when you think about it, and you got somebody out there that's promoting you, they've never done you wrong. I ain't never, did nothing wrong with this business. But it's like, that's the experience that I get. I don't know if it's new hires or what the situation is, but I'm like, yeah, bro, it's stuff like that where I'm like, nah, it's gonna be a fat minute before I go off up in that business again, cause telling you, it's like, nah, it's stuff like that. It's upsetting. It's like, I ain't wasted a trip. I could have been at home actually making some money, working, freaking recording YouTube videos, streaming, doing some TikToks, podcast episodes. I could have been doing something useful of my time, not going all the way up to somewhere just to be turned away. Yeah, I'm like, that's stuff like that where I'm like, I don't even know if I'll continue following them on Instagram. I'm like, I'll see how I'm feeling, towards the end of the day. But I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna be upset if they message me and they're all like, oh yeah, that'll work, and I'm like, whoever you had in there that told me on some stuff, oh, y'all is moving, so therefore fire them ASAP. I don't want to do no, I'll do business with anybody else in there, but if it's that one person and he act like he don't know what he's talking about, fire him, okay? Because that guy's gonna lead you into a world of destruction. All right, so, but anyways, yeah, rant and story time over. So thank you guys for stopping by today's episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, and if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.